Welcome back. With school out and screen time often increasing during the summer, experts say parents really need to pay closer attention to how children and teens are using AI. Joining me now is Dr. Steve Arcidiacono, the director at Boys Town, South Florida Outpatient Behavioral Health Clinic. I'm a mom of two, an 8-year-old, so I know about this very much so when it comes to, honestly, yes, screen time, but now my daughter is learning about AI and wanting to explore AI. It used to be ask Alexa, and now she'll say, just ask AI. So it's in their life and it's here to stay.
Yes. Yep. I have two myself, and we've been talking about the same stuff you have. Also
And so what do we do as parents? Do we try to avoid it as long as we can, or do we allow them to understand it and learn from it?
That is a great question, and the answer is definitely teaching. And I would say at Boys Town and myself, my perspective, I see parents as teachers. And so we need to be teaching them about this and teaching them how to use it properly, to know the benefits that could come from it, the risks that could come from it, and how to incorporate it into your family in an appropriate way.
I suppose for my generation, it was kind of how we learned about the internet.
Sure.
Using it for, projects or school or whatever, but also knowing it may not always be 100% accurate.
That is a great allegory for it, and similarly to how you couldn't always trust, and you still can't always trust what you see on the internet. Now we know to be a little bit more skeptical about it. I think younger people definitely need to keep that in mind, and we need to be teaching them about that. I think if you think about what good teachers do, they give you experiences, they talk about things in sort of a non-judgmental way, and I would encourage parents to think of it that way. So for example, if a kid is very into something, let's say it's Pokemon, you could have them engage with the AI and ask it very difficult questions about Pokemon. And I would bet that most likely it will get a lot of the information correct, but some of it will be a little off, and the kid will notice that.
Oh, okay.
And so that way
That's a good teaching moment.
Exactly, and you teach it through a little bit of an experience.
And so what kind of AI are we introducing our children to? Because I did say Alexa, and technically that is AI, but I'm thinking I'm using constantly ChatGPT, Grok,
Sure.
those kinds of services. So
Sure.
how do I introduce my 8-year-old if she's interested?
I think increasingly AI is just incorporated into our culture, and I think it will most likely just continue to be that way. So they're engaging with the AI. We've been engaging with AI for longer than you think. You might not just think
Sure.
about it that way. And I would say that if you can introduce it in small doses while a parent is present to guide them, that's a good way to do it. So for example, with my kids, they have the ability to talk to the kids' Alexa. I'm like afraid to say the name. I'm afraid something's going to wake up.
We're turning somebody's Alexa on for sure.
And teaching them a little bit more about it, understanding that it's not a human being, but they can ask it questions and make sure that you're skeptical of those results. Don't just believe those results, and be a little bit cautious about interpreting what it's telling you. We did it, for example, I explained that whole thing. I have a now 6-year-old, and I explained the whole thing. It's not a human being, but you can ask it for information. And the first thing she asked, what's your favorite color? So again, you could speak about these things, you could talk about these things, but I think engaging with them, not putting your head in the sand and pretending it's a trend,
not there, right?
Not making it evil or anything like that and saying to avoid it, but engage with them and then use those as teachable moments.
Well, I always like it because, your kid's in those question phases. What's faster, a cheetah or it's like, I don't know, my brain can't handle
Sure.
that. Let's go ahead and ask, AI.
Sure.
Talk a little bit, us as parents, what can we do as far as safeguards? Like, what can I do? Can you put safeguards in place online if they have access, or what do I do to protect them?
I think in general, it's a good idea to develop a family media plan. This is something that I do routinely with families. We do it at Boys Town. You could look on our website. There's some tools on there. And it's just a general plan about how to engage with screens. And then you can incorporate some specific to AI. So as of right now, you could set limits on how often they use it. But within the AI, you can't really set some limits on what they can do in it. So again, I would encourage starting with minimal access and then having parent-guided access where you're there, and then some rules as they show that they're trustworthy with it, they can get more and more freedom. I wouldn't let them just have the device, have it in their bed, in their
Sure.
room at night, and just free access.
Of course.
I would start with limited access, develop a plan around it, and check in, let's say, every week or every month, and kind of give them feedback. Hey, you did a really good job on this. I'm looking through some of your messages, and now you've earned the freedom to use it in public, but not in your room.
One more challenge us parents have to face when it comes to this technology, but it's here to stay. And I really appreciate that advice of, not acting like it's going away, because it definitely isn't. Thank you so much. Really good information. Appreciate it. If you'd like to know more, watch this interview again, or you can always go to their website because, like you said, good family plans on there. We've got a link to it on our website, WPBF.com. Thanks for being with us. We
Thanks
appreciate it.